What is going on, UFC card lovers? Welcome back here to UFC Card Talk. My name is Damien, and on this week's episode we are going to be doing a few different things. We are going to be first taking a look at the recent releases from Panini for UFC cards, and then after that I'm going to go over the rookie class that will be coming up in the 2023 Prism product. Obviously, Prism's not going to be released until at least April or June, but I think it's a little bit boring to wait to talk about the rookie class from this year's product all the way until a quarter way, halfway through the year. So we are going to be going over the rookie class who will be most likely in the products for 2023, go over some of the bigger names, and then also go over some of the lesser known rookie classes who I will be looking out for in 2023. I think there is definitely some room for some prospecting this year with the rookie class. 2022 rookie class was a big one, but I think 2023 could be as big, if not bigger. First off, just want to say, just with the videos from now on, for better or worse, obviously I watch all my videos back and I've just realised how dry they are. I'm trying to be informative to you guys, but at the same time, they're just lacking that little bit of entertainment. So from now on, expect more clips like this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Or maybe some even other little clips like this.
Do it! Just do it!
Just because I want my videos to just be a little bit more entertaining for you guys. Sometimes I watch my videos back and I basically have this reaction.
What the fuck?
But from now on, as I said, definitely want to just increase some of the entertainment value as well as trying to be informative with my videos. Enough of that stuff. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I am trying to get these videos better and better each week for you guys. So if you hit that subscribe button, I really would appreciate it. And let's continue building this little channel. Starting off first with the video, let's check out the recent releases. Obviously, the last release from UFC Panini product was the Donruss Optic. It is currently sitting on their website, a hobby box, at $169. They do still have the Pink Ice Prism packs for $25 each, and upcoming will be the 2022 Immaculate product. It will be the first release this year, and I would assume that that will then lead into 2023 Prism, which we are all very excited about. But interesting enough, it is sitting at $169.95 on their website for retail. Let's check out some recent pricing on eBay now, just so you guys can compare how much they're going for on eBay compared to how much they are going for on the Panini website. Recently, one sold for $149. We have $145. We have a very cheap one here for some reason. It is a hobby box, factory sealed, $83. Not sure how that one slipped under the cracks, but congratulations to whoever won that one. I mean, even I would buy that for $83. $160, retail price $175, $166, $143, $152, $155. First off the line box, $350, $165, $148. So yeah, we can see they are going for a little bit cheaper on eBay. So keep that in mind, guys, if you are still looking to buy some boxes. I would imagine as the year goes on a little bit, if you are holding out for Optic, I do think that these prices will come down. Just with the market as it is, and then also as the 2023 products are going to come out, which I know are a few months away. As I said, I wouldn't expect to see any Prism until earliest April, maybe the latest in June, depending how the releases go with Panini. But when they do come out, I would imagine these Optic boxes from last year are going to be very cheap. And obviously for the other guys out there who don't have the money to be buying hobby, but you do still want to be involved, you can be buying spots in breaks. There is still plenty of breaks going on for the Optic product. Not that I personally recommend breaks, that's just my personal opinion. I haven't had good experiences with them, but I know there's plenty of guys out there who do enjoy them, and there definitely is a place for them in the hobby. So, now, getting to the main part of the video, I'm going to be going over some big rookie class names that will be coming up in the 2023 product. There is definitely a lot. There's a lot more that I won't be covering. These are just the ones, the bigger well-known ones. And then obviously, as I said earlier, some lesser named ones who I do think there could be big market for. As their careers grow in later parts of 2023, I do think some of these guys could be moving up their ranks. Everyone, of course, when 2023 Prism product comes out, everyone's going to be hitting some of these big names I'm going to talk about, but there are some lesser known name guys who I do think may slip under the radar, and there could be some prospecting to be done with their cards in the later parts. If you were to get them early in 2023 and then obviously into the later parts of 2023, maybe early 2024, there could be some room for a bit of growth in pricing there. But starting off with the biggest one, but probably the most obvious choice for who I think will be biggest, if not equal biggest rookie from 2023, and that is the current middleweight champion, Alex Pereira. Kind of insane that he didn't have a rookie card in 2022 product. I was very surprised. I was actually expecting them to see him on the checklist of 2022. Even as the other releases came out later on in the year, it was pretty obvious that Alex Pereira was always going to be fast-tracked by the UFC into that title fight with Israel Adesanya, given their backstory. But the fact that we didn't see one was very surprising for me. And UFC, unlike other sports, tend to stick with the same checklist. If the fighter is not in Prism as the first release of the year, they will not be seen in later releases. They will not add fighters to releases, which is kind of a little bit unique. Think of that what you will. Alex Pereira, when his card is released in Prism, expect it to be one of the most sought after chase cards, especially in auto of his in 2023. Next up, a little bit of a special one. I am talking about this man, Bo Nickel. This guy is a very special individual. Special in not only talking about his credentials, the skills that he is showed. He is only 2-0. He has not debuted technically in the UFC yet. He was meant to fight Jamie Pickett in the December card, but obviously had an injury. That fight has been rescheduled till March, so he will be debuting in March. Typically, the UFC and any product would not have a fighter who did not debut the year before in their next year's release product. But Bo Nickel seems to be that bit of a special individual, given the hype behind him. He is the only fighter I can think of off the top of my head who actually had a Panini instant release after his Contenders Series win. So that I haven't seen that before. Comment down below if you know of any other Dana White Contender Series winners and contract winners who actually then had a instant release after that win, because I can't think of any. And the fact that we saw that with Bo Nickel, I know he hasn't debuted yet. He will debut technically before the release of the product. So I do think that we will see him in the 2023 Prism product, and he will be a massive chase for a lot of guys. Whether you're collecting or investing, Bo Nickel will be one of the biggest names from this year, and that is understandably so. Another guy, this is probably the one who I am most interested in, and it is Rosas Jr. Being the youngest signing from the UFC, crazy at 17 years old, he debuted in December. He was 18 at that time, the youngest ever athlete to win inside the UFC. This guy, he just seems so much more mature than his age. Even physically looking at him, he does not have the body of an 18-year-old. It's absolutely insane, and his skills are there. And we have seen so many hyped young guys before. Obviously, Sage Northcott, Chase Hooper was another one who the UFC sort of got behind, hoping that they would reach the stardom, and they've sort of fallen off a little bit. To be fair, I like Chase Hooper, and I do think he definitely has a career still that could be had there, but so far he has not really provided to the hype that he had when he first came in. But I just think this Rosas Jr. is different, and being that he is the youngest athlete ever signed by the UFC at 17 is just absolutely insane. And I do think, I said this in the initial video that I did after he got signed, I do think that this young man, being so young, so talented, he is going to be bringing in interest from other guys in other sports card hobbies, because he is just such an outlier, given how young he is, given his hype. I do think he is going to be one of the most chase guys in 2023, and very much understandably so. Definitely in the top 5 of the chase guys for 2023 product, and he out of those top 5, I want his rookie card. But so far, things look bright for Rosas Jr. and his card market for 2023. Next up, another guy who some of you may know, some of you might not know. It is Jolson Almeida, and he is a fighter out of Brazil. He is a light heavyweight, which that division is a little bit stagnant, if I'm being honest, and they need this fresh new blood, and Jolson Almeida so far has just been an absolute wrecking ball. And a lot of the guys who are within the MMA community are very hyped on this guy, and for very good reason. He had 3 fights in 2002, 3 finishes with 1 knockout and 2 subs, all within the first round. So this guy is looking like an absolute killer right now, and I do think he will be sought after in 2023. Another guy, a fellow Australian actually, Della Madalina. He is another fighter who has burst out onto the scene last year. 3 impressive wins, 3 first round finishes. His striking just looks absolutely amazing. I know that Zach from Box Alarm Trading, shout out to Box Alarm Trading. I know all you guys probably watch all their videos anyway. If you don't already, check them out. But Zach is really big on him, and for good reason. He is another guy who is going to be in this product from 2023, and he is going to be well sought after, just given his hype, given how well he has performed throughout 2022, and then leading into 2023, we are going to be seeing him fight again in Perth in February, and a lot of people are going to be excited about that fight. So hopefully he can continue his win streak and continue putting on impressive performances. All right, that's some of the bigger name rookies who I think will be in this product. Starting off now with some of the male, probably the lesser known name rookies that will be coming in the 2023 product that I am personally super excited for. I'm going to be looking at getting these guys cards. Let me know who you guys will be chasing. Let me know down in the comments below, who will you be chasing from the 2023 product. But starting off with Phil Rowe, the Fresh Prince. He's fighting in the welterweight division, which is already a super stacked division, but I do feel like, as with the light heavyweights, there is some young talent, including Della Madalina. He is also in the welterweight division. But this guy, I've seen him fight throughout 2022, and he looked very impressive to me. I loved his striking style, very fluid, quite accurate. And he had 2 fights in 2022, noticeably at the end of the year beating Neike Price by TKO in the 3rd round. And he also had a round 2 KO back in February. So he had 2 impressive performances, and this is another guy who I will enjoy watching, and I will hopefully pick up some of his cards in 2023. Another young, exciting fighter in the lightweight division. Probably this guy should have been on the bigger names, because a lot of you already know him. He is Terence McKee. But his 2022 instant release product. I'm big on this young man. I do think he has a personality that matches his fight style, and he's very exciting to watch. Currently with a record of 13-4. We saw him fight 3 times in 2022, and he will be fighting in next week's UFC 283 event in Brazil. So very excited to be following this young man's career. And if you haven't already, I know I mentioned this a long time ago, one of the most enjoyable things for me in the hobby, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, is to find just a young guy, regardless if they have a big name or not. Find a young fighter, start following on their Instagram, maybe start watching some of their social media content. And if you don't like their personality, then just find another young prospect. There's plenty of them in the UFC that you can get into. Start following them. When you find one who you like, just start really getting behind them. Start buying some of their cards. But as I said, whether they're big names or not, it's just really, really fun to start following a guy from the start of their career. I did that with Sean O'Malley when I started following him in 2018. And you just really, over a long period of time, following this guy, that's how you become emotionally invested. And of course, then you want to start buying some of their cards. And it's just honestly, it's just one of the most fun things to do in the sport, is to just really have an athlete who you support and follow and become a super fan of. And Terence McKee, for me, is that guy. So I will be chasing his cards hard in 2023, win or lose. But I do think that so far so good with Terence McKee, and he is a young, exciting fighter. So I'm very looking forward to seeing him perform this year. Another guy who I do think could be an underlier, and he does have a bigger name, to be fair, just because he is acquainted with the CKB kickboxing team, Israel Adesanya's team. Alexander Volkanovski also trains out of that gym. So does Dan Hooker. So does Brad Riddell. They've got some other names, but I do think Carlos Goldberg, the kickboxer, coming over to MMA with a record of 8-1, I do think he has a market. He's nicknamed the ladies' man for obvious reasons. And I do think, given that he does have that relationship with the CKB team, and given his fight style, he is a very, very talented striker. Can make some big statements in the UFC this year. And I do think if he will start picking up some of his rookie cards, I do think that there could be some growth there in the future. Another young guy in the welterweight division. The welterweight division is already, as I said, it's a little bit stagnant, but it is very stacked in my opinion. I do think it's the second best division in the UFC after bantamweight. But another guy who I am super pumped on with a record of 14-0 is Michael Morales. Unfortunately, he was meant to fight in December. He's got a little bit of an injury at the moment. We did see him fight twice with impressive victories in 2022. And this guy just really seems to know how to mix it up. He has 7 first round finishes out of 14 fights and 11 TKO KO wins. This guy is an exciting guy to watch. As I said, another guy who, if you're into the MMA community, you've probably already heard of him. But I do think he will be a nice chase rookie in the 2023 product. And then finally, this is a guy who I just really feel connected to. He is another Australian. I have talked with him a little bit just through messaging. Super great guy. He had an awesome win in the start of 2022 with the TKO victory over Andre Filio. This is the Celtic kid, Jake Matthews. A record of 18-6. He's not by far a rookie. He has been fighting in the UFC since 2016. I actually went to my first ever UFC event I went to in 2016 in Melbourne. Fantastic event. It was headlined by Derek Brunson and Robert Whittaker. But I saw Jake Matthews fight on that card, so I'm very happy that I've seen him fight live. And as I said, he has been around for a long time. Just a guy who I just feel super connected to, and a guy who I will be super excited for. He will probably take number 2, to be all honest. He'll be taking spot number 2 in my PC in 2023 just because I'm really excited to watch him perform, and I'm excited to be buying some of his cards in 2023.
2 hours later.
That's the video for this week, guys. If you haven't already, as I said, I'm really out here. I'm trying to be informative, but just mixing in some more entertainment for you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, comment down below whose cards you're going to be chasing the most this year, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week.